sports news from around the world. Let's set up the all-important Eliminator for you. There can be no mistakes tonight, for whoever loses the Eliminator is kicked out of IPL 2024. It's the Royal Challengers Bengaluru versus the Rajasthan Royals at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. Two teams at the opposite ends of the spectrum. RCB can't seem to put a foot wrong lately, while Rajasthan Royals can't seem to find a way to manufacture a win. Those are visuals coming from outside the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad, and as you can see, fans are going in large numbers to see this. Now, both these teams, especially Royal Challengers Bengaluru, they have a very large fan base, and the fact that RCB have managed to turn things around for themselves, given that they won 6 games in a row and by big margins to make it to the eliminators, to make it to the playoffs. It's an incredible story in itself, and those fans today are going there to support their team. Let's take a look at these two teams and how they stack up against each other. The journey to the Eliminator of IPL 2024 has been an absolutely contrasting one for both Rajasthan Royals and Royal Challengers Bengaluru. Well past the halfway stage, Sanju Samson-led Rajasthan appeared the best team of the tournament with 8 wins in their first 9 games, while an early elimination loomed large on a star-studded RCB after 7 defeats in 8 matches. The turnaround began for both teams with their respective second leg games in Hyderabad. RCB haven't lost a match since their 35-run win over Sunrisers Hyderabad, and Rajasthan haven't won one after going down to SRH by just 1 run on 2nd of May. Qualifying as the number 3 team on the table, Rajasthan Royals face a stern test of character to arrest a shocking slide in the do-or-die eliminator against an in-form RCB who are on a roll in the last 6 matches. Chasing their second IPL title since winning the inaugural edition in 2008, Rajasthan Royals are also affected adversely by the departure of Jos Buttler and an inconsistent run for their second opener Yashavi Jaiswal. The only batter to hit 2 centuries in IPL 2024, Buttler signed off with 359 runs from 11 matches, while Jaiswal has scored 354 runs in 14 games with a ton and a 50. Skipper Samson and Riyan Parag, who have both put on 500+ runs during the season with over 150 strike rate, will be the players to watch out for. Shimron Hetmeyer is expected to be available to give Rajasthan some solidity in the lower middle order. Even though a mere 83 runs from 7 innings do not appear impressive, his 184.44 strike rate has made the difference towards the end on several occasions. RR will also be looking at Trent Boult for early breakthroughs, even as the veteran New Zealand pacer has only 12 wickets in 13 matches. The 200-run mark has been breached only twice in 12 innings this season at the Narendra Modi Stadium, which means there will be a real test of character for the batters as well as the bowlers. Virat Kohli continues to be the highest run getter this season with 708 runs from 14 matches, and given that he is a big match player, expect him to come good in this contest. With skipper Faf du Plessis also finding form with the bat, the two seniors can direct the course of the game with a solid start. Kohli has compiled his 708 runs at a 155+ strike rate, which is the second highest among the top 5 run scorers for the season. Du Plessis has been striking at nearly 164 for his 421 in 14 innings. Rajat Patidar has 5 half-centuries and a strike rate of almost 180 in his 361 from 12 innings. And a battle-hardened Dinesh Karthik is firing on all cylinders with a strike rate in excess of 195 lower down the order, having 315 runs in 14 games. In their last match, left-arm seamer Yash Dayal turned around his fortunes to dish out a splendid final over against the Chennai Super Kings to deny the defending champions a win and lead RCB into the playoffs. For a bowler who was smashed for 5 consecutive sixes in an over last year, Dayal has proved his mettle this year. He has been the leading wicket taker for his side with 15 scaps from 13 games, whereas Mohammad Siraj has regained the kind of rhythm Team India will be looking forward to in the T20 World Cup next month. The Hyderabadi pacer has 13 wickets from as many games after an initial struggle. In their only meeting in the league stage, Rajasthan had beaten RCB by 6 wickets. But almost everything has changed for the two teams in terms of form and momentum in the last 1.5 months since that game in Jaipur. Now RCB start favourites and RR go into this must-win game as the underdogs.
Kolkata Knight Riders are in the final of IPL 2024 after hammering Sunrisers Hyderabad by 8 wickets in Ahmedabad yesterday to win the first qualifier, leaving Pat Cummins and his bruised and battered team to improve in their second shot at joining KKR in Chennai when they meet the winner of the Eliminator. Forced to field after Cummins won the toss and chose to bat, KKR bowled out SRH for 159 in 19.3 overs with $1 million man Mitchell Starc taking 3 wickets inside the power play, and then chased a target of 160 in just 13.4 overs with Venkatesh Iyer and Shreyas Iyer scoring unbeaten half centuries. Starc, who had been purchased by KKR for 24.75 crores at last December's player auction, had endured an expensive return to the IPL after 9 seasons, but come the biggest match of the tournament, and the Australian delivered when it mattered the most. The left-arm pacer clean bowled his World Cup teammate Travis Head for a second ball duck, and then removed Nitish Reddy and Shahbaz Ahmed of consecutive deliveries in his third over as SRH slumped to 39 for 4. Starc might have finished with a 4th wicket, except Shreyas Iyer did not review a yorker that thudded into Rahul Tripathi's front foot. Tripathi then on 14 scored the only half century of the Hyderabad innings and added valuable runs with Heinrich Klaasen, who made 32. Just when it seemed like Klaasen was set to turn the innings around, he tried to hit Varun Chakravarti out of the ground, only to become the first of the mystery spinners 2 wickets, which put Chakravarti at 3rd place on the overall wickets table. And then when a moment of madness saw Tripathi run out for 155, all hopes of a challenging total for SRH evaporated. Cummins scored 30 of 24 balls, but a late surge never happened, and this left Kolkata Knight Riders confident of knocking off their target without much trouble. Playing his first match of the season after Englishman Phil Salt returned home to link up with the T20 World Cup squad, Afghanistan's Rahmanullah Gurbaz scored 23 of 14 balls as the KKR openers put on 44 in 3 overs. Cummins dismissed the dangerous Sunil Narayan for 21 in the 7th over, but by then KKR were already 67 for 2. Shreyas Iyer and Venkatesh Iyer then added 97 in 44 balls as Kolkata Knight Riders romped home in the 14th over. Travis said he capped a bad night when he dropped a regulation catch at point to reprieve Shreyas Iyer on 14, a far cry from the brilliant game-changing catch he took off Rohit Sharma at this same ground on 19th of November. And the KKR skipper launched the next ball for a 6 as he went on to make an unbeaten 24-ball 58. Meanwhile, this was Venkatesh Iyer's 3rd 50 in an IPL playoff match, underlying how important a player he's been for KKR in the knockouts. This is what Cummins said. He said, "Not our day, but we have another crack at it. We will try to put this one behind us pretty quickly." You get these days in T20 when it doesn't work out. We were off the pace. A few guys didn't get a start and we couldn't get it done with the ball. On Friday, SRH will meet the winner of the Eliminator, and it remains to be seen who that will be. This is why KKR's owners forked out a record-shattering 24.75 crore for Mitchell Starc, because like any proper true blue Australian champion, he delivers the goods when it matters the most. Back in the IPL after 9 seasons, Starc has had a rough return with an economy rate of 11.36 runs per over at the end of the league stage. But come the playoffs and the multiple World Cup winner hit prime form, thus justifying his whopping price tag. In last night's qualifier in Ahmedabad, Starc ripped the heart out of SRH's top half to set up an 8-wicket victory for KKR that propelled them into Sunday's final in Chennai. This was billed as a matchup between Starc and Pat Cummins, the 2 richest cricketers of this IPL player auction, and one that could potentially decide the result. And as it panned out, Starc utterly outshone his national captain with a performance for the ages. Starc's second delivery to Travis Head shattered into the middle and off stumps of this IPL season's most destructive batter, which extended Starc's complete hold over Head to 5 dismissals in 7 matches across formats, with yesterday being Head's 4th duck against Starc. That dismissal of the man who scored a century in the 2023 ODI World Cup final at the same venue set the slide in motion for SRH. Starc then took another couple of wickets in his opening spell of 3 overs inside the power play to put KKR in prime position for a dominant run chase, and was later named player of the match for taking 3 for 34 for his 4 overs. Starc later put down his success to bringing his length back while still searching for the new ball swing. Asked about what changes he'd made to his approach to enjoy such early success in the match, Starc said he bowled slightly shorter than before but still pitched up enough to swing. He said, and I quote, "It was nice to get the team off to a start that we needed. Power play wickets are very important. It was nice to see the back of Trav early. He's been phenomenal this tournament. To get him cheaply was big, particularly with the way Trav and Abhishek have been playing throughout the series. They like the width and to free their arms. So if we can get that ball swinging and keep it in line with the stumps and bowl a really hard length, which we really did in the power play, and that really got into their middle order." They're down at 17th place on the list of most wickets in IPL 2024 with 15 from 13 matches at a strike rate of 15.53 and an economy of just over 11 now. Starc's lethal ability to strike in crunch games is what KKR would have had in mind when they splurged on him. One final match remains for Starc and KKR, and what are the chances that it will be an Australian who shines again? Former Indian all-rounder Virat has chosen his Indian playing 11 for the upcoming T20 World Cup in the United States and the Caribbean. He said, and I quote, "I think Rohit Sharma and Yashavi Jaiswal should definitely open. Virat Kohli has been batting at number 3 and that's his position. And then you get Suryakumar Yadav at 4. And then you got a couple of big options. I'd like to see a couple of left-hand, right-hand combinations because it is harder to bowl at 2 combinations all the time. I'd probably go for Rishabh Pant. Obviously, Sanju is also in great form, but Rishabh is a left-hander, and I believe that Rishabh has massive potential to win games for India, which he has done in the past. So clearly, Yuvraj preferring Rishabh Pant over Sanju Samson, despite the fact that both of them actually have been in great form, but Sanju has scored more runs than Rishabh. He also then went on to back Hardik Pandya despite his dismal form in this season of the IPL. He said, well, the good thing is that the selection has been made. Selectors see how players have performed at international cricket and then they look at IPL form, just not the IPL form. Because if you look at the IPL form, Hardik's not done well. Looking at his background for India, what he's done for India, it is important that he's in the squad. I think his bowling is going to be important and his fitness is going to be important. And I think he might do something really special in this World Cup. On to football. Can Bayer Leverkusen go where no European team has gone before? Yes, they've been an unbeatable force this season and Bundesliga champions will be looking to preserve that record as they bid to end a losing run against Atalanta in the Europa League final tonight. The Germans will play in a European final for the first time since they finished runners-up to Real Madrid in the 2002 Champions League final, and they'll be eager to snap a 2-match losing streak against their Italian rivals. Atalanta got the better of the Germans in both legs of their Europa League last 16 time 2022, and Leverkusen coach Xabi Alonso knows his players cannot afford the kind of lapses in concentration that cost them dear 2 years ago. However, as Leverkusen will be going into the final in Dublin's Aviva Stadium on the back of a formidable 51-match unbeaten streak in all competitions, Alonso is confident that they'll be better prepared for the challenge that lies ahead as his players try and win the second title of a possible treble this season. Leverkusen broke Bayern Munich's 11-year title monopoly in Germany this season, and their unbeaten run has earned them the moniker Never Losing.
We have been preparing for these moments through all the year. It's not just 2 days job, and you know, luckily I have a great team. I have players that they are ready for sure. They are well prepared for tomorrow. We have shown that during the whole year, and tomorrow I have a good feeling that it's not going to be different. We respect so much Atalanta, but we have confidence on our game, on our mentality that it's not going to change, and with the confidence that we can make it.
Mauricio Pochettino has left his job as Chelsea manager by mutual consent after one season in charge. Pochettino joined Chelsea ahead of the 2023-24 season when he replaced interim manager Frank Lampard as the club's new owners Todd Bowley and Clearlake Capital look to freshen things up at Stamford Bridge after finishing 12th in the previous campaign. Although Chelsea started the season poorly and found themselves in the bottom half of the standings despite spending more than any club in Europe, Pochettino managed to guide the London club to 6th in the Premier League standings. Speculation had been rife that the former Paris Saint-Germain and Tottenham Hotspur boss would be gone after just 1 year in charge, but Pochettino remained tight-lipped about his future when asked about their final game of the season on Sunday. Germany and Real Madrid's Toni Kroos will retire after this year's European Championship, adding that next month's Champions League final against Borussia Dortmund will be his last game for the Spanish club. Kroos had previously retired from international duty in 2021 but announced his return ahead of the Euros. The 34-year-old has won the World Cup at Germany and has made 463 appearances for Real Madrid since joining in 2014. He will leave as one of the most decorated players in Real's 120-year history, winning more than 20 trophies including 4 European Cups. Real Madrid won La Liga this season and will face Dortmund in the Champions League final on 1st of June. England manager Gareth Southgate named his provisional Euro 2024 squad on Tuesday, and forward Marcus Rashford was the most high-profile omission, and there was no place for experienced midfielder Jordan Henderson. Several uncapped players, Liverpool's duo Curtis Jones and Jarrell Quansah, Everton defender Jared Branthwaite and Crystal Palace's Adam Wharton did make the provisional list of 33. Southgate will cut his squad to 26 by the June 7th deadline. The exclusion of Rashford and former Liverpool midfielder Henderson were the big surprises given the loyalty Southgate has shown them and their role in previous tournament runs. Chelsea forward Raheem Sterling also missed out, but his teammate Cole Palmer was included after a superb season. Portugal's 39-year-old forward Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the best in the world ever, will play in his 6th European Championship, and veteran defender Pepe also made the cut as coach Roberto Martinez named his 26-man squad on Tuesday. Ronaldo, who scored in every Euro since his first appearance in 2004, has netted 14 goals in the finals. He also scored 10 times in European qualifying matches last year. Ronaldo now plays for Saudi Pro League side Al Nassr, where he scored 42 goals and provided 13 assists in all competitions. However, Ronaldo will not be the oldest member of the squad, with Martinez also calling up Porto defender Pepe, who turned 41 this year. 9 players from the Premier League have been called up, including Ruben Diaz, Diego Dalot, Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva and Diogo Jota. Gonzalo Inacio is also there. He is the only sporting player in that squad. Now, this one is going to be everybody's favorite because it's Pep Guardiola. He was named Premier League Manager of the Year on Tuesday after guiding Manchester City to an unprecedented 4th successive title. The Spanish coach has won the award 4 times since joining the club in 2016. With 6 league titles to his name, he is now the 2nd most successful manager in the history of English football. Only former Manchester United manager Sir Alex Ferguson with 11 has won the awards more times. Now, Guardiola saw off competition from Mikel Arteta, Aston Villa's Unai Emery, Bournemouth's Andoni Iraola and Liverpool's Jurgen Klopp. Well, that's it then on Game On. Hope you enjoyed the show. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.
If you were to remake Tom Cruise's 1986 starrer Top Gun today using all the original aircraft from the movie, the only country, in fact, you could interestingly do so would be Iran. Why so? Well, Iran still uses the same F-14 Tomcat aircraft. The helicopter that crashed on May 19th, killing the Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi and his foreign minister, Ibrahim Raisi's foreign minister, Abdullahian, was a US-made Bell 212 which first flew in 1968, and it was sold to Iran by the US before the 1979 Iran Revolution. The Tehran regime has been under the Western sanctions for decades now, leading to proper maintenance of Raisi's relic of a chopper nearly impossible. Take a look at this entire report to understand this in deeper depths.
If you were to remake Tom Cruise's 1986 movie Top Gun today using all the original aircraft from that movie, the only country you could do it in would be Iran. Iran still uses the same F-14 Tomcat aircraft used in Top Gun. In fact, the helicopter that crashed on the 19th of May, killing the Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi, was a US-made Bell 212, which first flew in 1968. It was sold by the US to Iran before the 1979 Iranian Revolution. Now, the Tehran regime has been under Western sanctions for decades now, leading to questions about the maintenance of their then state-of-the-art Air Force. But first, let's look at the 5 vintage aircraft Iran has been flying since 1979. First up, we have the McDonnell Douglas F-14 Tomcat. This is an aircraft that flew in the 1960s. Iran had one of the largest fleets of F-14s outside the United States. And this, of course, was the aircraft that Tom Cruise flew in Top Gun. It's flying only in Iran. Next, you have the F-4 Phantom. This is another fighter aircraft that most of the world air forces have phased out. At one point, the Israeli Air Force too had this aircraft. Today, Iran is one of the few air forces in the world that still flies this aircraft from the 1960s. Next, you have the Northrop F-5 Tiger. Now, this is the aircraft that was used in Top Gun as the fictional MiG-28. But the F-5 is an aircraft that, again, most of the air forces of the world have phased out. The Iranian Air Force